Ladies and gentlemen, it has been 48 hours since the close of polls on Saturday, the 7th of December 2024. The voters of Ghana have spoken. They have expressed their choice at the polls, and that choice will today be upheld by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. As a commission, we have fulfilled our vowed aspiration to imbibe transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, and responsiveness at the heart of all our operations. And I can confidently say that with the help of God, we have fulfilled these aspirations and the expectations of the citizenry. We have conducted elections that are credible, fair, transparent, and peaceful. Elections that have expressed, elections that have ensured that the will of the people as expressed at the polls, elections that have guaranteed that every vote counts. As a country, we take pride in the fact that our electoral processes, initiated since 1992, uphold and guarantee the voter's choice. We take pride in the fact that the voter's choice, as expressed at the polls, is sacrosanct. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 4 years have been spent in injecting and infusing 4 key elements into every aspect of our work. And those elements are transparency, accountability, responsiveness, and inclusiveness. As such, we started the year poised and ready to conduct credible elections. We were conscious that elections were an event and not a process. This resolve led us to undertake several transformational decisions, including the reprinting, re-exhibiting of the Provisional Voters Register for the first time in our history, when concerns were raised about its credibility, as well as opening up the IPAC meetings to the citizenry by allowing the live coverage of all IPAC meetings. Indeed, the decisions to re-exhibit the Provisional Voters Register to allow a further review by political parties and the citizenry, as well as the demystification of the IPAC meeting, has helped diffuse the tension that were brewing around the Provisional Voters Register. Ultimately, those 2 decisions restored the confidence of the citizens in the Voters Register and cemented Ghana's peace. Again, in the spirit of responsiveness, when complaints were made about the 50 persons charged voters for the verification of their registration details online, the Commission waived the fee and allowed voters to verify their details at no cost. In line with our determination to ensure the credibility of the 2024 election, when the Commission received information of the leak of a single defaced ballot paper, the Commission acted swiftly and destroyed ballots for both Western and Eastern regions. This bold determination and this bold decision was based on our determination to uphold the integrity of the election at all costs. In less than 1 week, the Commission printed new ballot papers for both regions and went on to successfully hold the special voting 2 days ahead of the main election. As a Commission, our singular message to our teams at all levels has been clear. It is that our mandate is not to make anyone a president or a member of parliament, but rather to conduct and undertake credible and transparent elections and electoral processes which uphold the voter's choice and lead to acceptable and peaceful outcomes. Today, our resolve has paid off. We have conducted elections that are fair, elections that are free, elections that are credible, elections that are transparent, elections that are peaceful, and elections whose outcomes are acceptable by all. So transparent are our processes that any interested political party, media house, or citizen could collate with near precision the results of the election, attesting to the resilient and robust processes built over the years. And we witnessed this with the concession of the Vice President, even before the declaration of the results by the Electoral Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, the testimonies on election day also attest to the efficient, robust, and resilient processes we put in place. Many citizens testified to the seamless processes they witnessed at the polling stations. The average time spent at the polling station was around 5 minutes compared to several hours and several minutes prior to the 2020 election. Citizens also attested to the efficiency of the biometric voter devices, the biometric verification devices employed to ensure that every man has one vote. The system worked efficiently and ensured that the voter who registered was indeed the person who voted. We are confident that the 2024 election will further cement trust in our electoral processes and reduce the suspicions that typically characterize elections on the continent. At this juncture, I would like to thank all of you who journeyed with us to ensure the success of the 2024 election. To our staff, both permanent and temporary, we say, Ayiko, you have worked hard, put in long hours, plowed the field, and done the spade work at the risk of your own lives to bring us a successful outcome. Our hearts go out to our staff who were manhandled during this time. We wish you well, and we ask the good Lord to bless all of you. To our media partners who have journeyed with us and enabled us to bring the commission to the doorstep of every Ghanaian, we say thank you. To the Ghana Police Service and to our partner, the National Peace Council, we say Ayiko. We thank all of you, the good citizens of Ghana, who have believed in us and allowed us to serve you. To our dear families and friends who have journeyed with us every step of the way, we thank you for your support, your prayers, your encouragement, and your advice. We are conscious that we could not have achieved this success without the help of the Almighty God, our anchor, without whom we could have done nothing. We remain eternally grateful, and I say thank you, Jesus. To all our observers from the ECOWAS, from the African Union, from the ECODEC, from the Commonwealth Secretariat, from the West Africa Elders Forum, supported by the Good Luck Jonathan Foundation, from the National Peace Council, from CODEO, from the Association of African Election Authorities, from the European Center for Election Systems, from International IDEA, Frimpong Manso Institute, IDEC, and to electoral commissioners from election management bodies in Africa, namely Uganda, Gambia, Kenya, Liberia, we say thank you for your support. We wish you all Godspeed back home. As the returning officer for the presidential election and in fulfillment of my mandate as enshrined in law, I will now declare the outcome of the 2024 election. It is important to note that per Regulation 63.3 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, the winner of the presidential election must obtain at least 50% plus 1 at the polls to be declared the winner of the election. We have collated the presidential results from all 16 administrative regions, of which 267 of the 276 constituencies have been captured. We have not been able to receive results from 9 constituencies because our offices have been besieged by political party supporters, making it impossible to complete the collation process. That notwithstanding, the presidential results from the 267 constituencies, including the newly created Gyan constituency, clearly established the winner of the 2024 presidential election. Simply put, even if all the votes from the 9 constituencies were added to the candidate who placed second, it would not change the outcome of the election. It is important to note that the Commission will update the records on receipt of the presidential results from the 9 outstanding constituencies. Ladies and gentlemen, now to the results of the 2024 presidential election. And the results will be announced based on the positions of the presidential candidates on the ballot. Mahamudu Bawumia of the NPP obtained 4,657,304, being 41.61%. Daniel Augustus Latte Jr. of the GCPP obtained 16,673, being 0.15%. Christian Kwabena Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement obtained 16,461, being 0.15%. Kofi Apalu of the LPG obtained 5,219, being 0.09%. Mohamed Pong of the National Democratic Party obtained 4,413, being 0.04%. Nana Akosua-Frimpong of the CPP obtained 23,397, being 0.21%. Mr. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC obtained Mr. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC obtained 6,328,397. And I'd like to repeat that. Mr. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC obtained 6,328,397, being 56.55%. Mr. Hassan Ayariga of the APC obtained 17,461, being 0.16%. Mr. Kofi Crampton, independent candidate, obtained 3,320, being 0.03%. Mr. George Chumberima Edu, independent candidate, obtained 3,091, being 0.02%. Nana Kwame Biediaku, independent candidate, obtained 84,478, being 0.05%. Mr. Alan Kojo Tremanting, independent candidate, obtained 31,202, being 0.28%. The total valid votes cast add up to 11,191,422. Total rejected votes 200 39,109. Total votes cast 11,430,531. It's important to mention that the total registered voters add up to 18,774,159. And the percentage voter turnout based on the 267 constituencies stands at 60.9%. 60.9% based on the 267 constituencies. And as I mentioned, this does not include the 9 constituencies whose results we are yet to receive. Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned earlier, results from the 9 constituencies are still as outstanding. The 9 constituencies are Ewutu Senya East, in Sawam, Aduajiri, Akwetia, Suhum, Techiman South, Domi Pabenya, Ablekuma North, Ahafu Anon North, and Damango. The total registered voters in all 9 constituencies add up to 947,116. In the event that all the valid voters from the 9 constituencies above voted for the candidate who placed second, the total number of votes he would garner would be 5,604,420, representing 46.17% of the total valid votes, which would have been 12,138,538. The inclusion of the outstanding constituencies would have given the leading candidate 52.13%, which is still greater than the 50% plus 1 required to be declared a winner. And so even with that scenario, he's clearly the winner of the 2024 election. In the light of, ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor as the returning officer of the 2024 presidential election to declare His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the 2024 presidential election and the President-elect of the Republic of Ghana with a total percentage of 56.55%. Congratulations, sir. It is finished. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Saturday post 2024 general election, and you better say enyumbre or punch jumadie so aye de ebrel. Enyumbre ye say you better say election 2024, and then they said they are conducting no, said they are kind no, said they are declaration, and then concession, and then they can sign and akko so far. Now, post-election, a Hons and Seminole saying that year, we're talking about declaration of certain parliamentary results, and the contention at Ediaba, and sometimes a distraction and a disruption at Ecoso. What they know, in terms of violence, and Hons and Seminole saying anything. Now, international observers, a thumbs up. Saying and also who the conduct of the elections. Na sadia Ghana yembra yasheshe a transition arrangement for Etieno, the outgoing president and the incoming president ebia asati up ni team ama team no akoshia eneda ya inauguration of the transitional team membership any one role ne one sem no sign and then also etie enwumbre enti emo akwaba e de ba punch jumadie eso na enwumbre abadwafo etnase no se na medical can we discuss these issues today, Thursday, the 12th of the 12th month of the year 2024. Few days na yedi eye Christmas. Na you see January on the 7th, then we'll do the swearing in of the new president and then the new members of parliament for the next 4 years. So enyumbre ye mo akwaba edeba punch jumadie so megidi ye se wompom obetimi adwene na woni yen enso so adinkita ho ayebedi enyumbre via our text line. Just send us a text or a WhatsApp line na yenja discussion. You can send us a text or a WhatsApp message. It was 0551 599933. That is our text or WhatsApp line. Just send us a text message or a WhatsApp message. Now, yes, Jumadia say Senya Uti the Electoral Commissioner Onwa enso na ye presiding officer eba presidential elections or ye declaration our declare the former President John Dramani Mahama the winner of the 2024 general elections in Ghana presidential. Overwhelming victory for the NDC both in terms of the presidential and the parliamentary elections. This is outstanding. This is unprecedented. And the Fourth Republic, especially if 2000 ABC Sabri, Obi Nwene as a president from the year 2000 Eba with this landslide victory, said their former President Mahama while winning these elections. In terms of parliamentary seats, and so no free 2000 Eba Obi anywhere one party with me win majority seat in parliament, said the NDC win in this election. From the records available now, no what they suggest, and they say NDC majority in parliament, not ordinary majority in parliament, or more to test majority in parliament, meaning that they can transact business, they can have quorum to do business and transact business and make whatever laws, unless a entrenched provision in the constitution, they can take decisions with respect to that. Congratulations, National Democratic Congress. You worked for this, and then Ghanaians have given you thumbs up when there's victory. Now, the vice president, outgoing vice president, Onoanso Nana Oye a presidential candidate for the new Patriotic Party, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, share results na aba da share mathematics na ne krofo a woye coalition aye eno hu say drumbra e was say or concede so quickly and or assemble the team, and then he did the needful, being conceding to his senior brother John Dramani Mahama. Yentie the concession speech.
And gentlemen of the media, following yesterday's presidential and parliamentary elections, Ghanaians at home and abroad have been sitting on tenterhooks awaiting the outcome of the election. Let me say that the data from our own internal collation of the election results indicate that former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has won the presidential election decisively. The NDC has also won the parliamentary election, even though we await final collation for a number of seats. However, I believe ultimately that these will not change the overall outcome. See John Dramani Mahama to congratulate him as President-elect of the Republic of Ghana. I said during the signing of the Peace Pact that I was sure of two things. Ghana will win and peace will reign. The people of Ghana have spoken. The people have voted for change at this time, and we respect that decision with all humility. I thank God Almighty for how far He has brought me, and I submit to His will. I am making this concession speech before the official announcement by the Electoral Commission to avoid further tension and preserve the peace of our country. It is important that the world investor community continues to believe in the peaceful and democratic character of Ghana. These are our most important assets. Ghana is more important than our individual political ambitions, and we must always put Ghana first. While this was not our desired outcome, I say this is part of the democratic process. We put our best foot forward in the contest, explaining our policies and programs. However, it is sometimes the case that the voter would have other ideas. I am very proud of the efforts of our campaign team, and I thank them very much. I assure His Excellency John Dramani Mahama of my full support in the transition process. As committed Democrats, we pledge to ensure that we have a very smooth transition so that the business of government will continue seamlessly. The MPP would offer the needed support to the new government in a very responsible way. Ladies and gentlemen, we have conceded defeat like any consummate Democrat would do, but we have not abandoned the fight to transform Ghana and expand opportunities to all sections of our society. We will not be a disruptive opposition, even though we would subject government actions and policies to strict scrutiny in the interest of our beloved nation. Our MPs, I am convinced, will do a thorough job to advance our democracy and ensure that the citizenry gets the best out of the democratic dispensation. To the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party, I know the feeling hurts, given that this is not the result you worked for. I know you would feel there is darkness ahead. That is natural, especially when in all sincerity you gave the assignment your all. But I assure you that we will regroup and come back even stronger. We will take stock of events and pick lessons to guide us going forward. In the interim, I urge you all to look into the future with optimism and hope. We may have lost the battle, but not the war. Let me also use this occasion to congratulate all MPs elect, with special emphasis on those from the MPP side. I would like to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, for his support and guidance over the years. I extend sincere thanks to the First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo, for her support and wise counsel throughout my tenure as Vice President and during the 2024 electioneering campaign. I'd like to thank my wife, Haja Samira Bawumia, who has gone over and above the call of duty in her support for me. My thanks also go to my children, my brothers and sisters, and the entire Bawumia family for their support. I also thank my running mate, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, and his wife Alma for their strong support in this campaign. I am eternally grateful to our revered traditional rulers, religious leaders, and the generality of Ghanaians for their support. I thank former President Kufuor, the Council of Elders, executives, and the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party for their solid support. To all Ghanaians who voted for me and the MPP to implement our proposed bold solutions, I thank you for the confidence you reposed in us. To all Ghanaians who didn't vote for me and the MPP in this particular election, I thank you for considering my proposals, even though you exercised your right to choose by settling on the eventual winner. Let me also thank the Electoral Commission for overseeing yet another transparent and fair election.
A concession speech by the presidential candidate Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the outgoing vice president. Now, after the concession speech, the senior brother, His Excellency, the incoming president, John Dramani Mahama, and so Kasai Ohene Gyan for Kasai. Yenti Asama Okai.
Sisters, there is much to do to salvage our country and reset it. It would have to start with a reset of the relationship between citizens and elected officials. We must never forget that the people of Ghana have chosen us to represent their wishes and their best interests. It is the reason we would be initiating important governance reforms and sometimes initiate severe measures in the next 4 years to reset our nation and bring it back on track as the Black Star of Africa. The journey is not going to be easy, my brothers and sisters, because the outgoing government has plunged our dear nation into an abyss. However, we are determined to work together with you to build the Ghana we want. And I am certain that we shall win the battle. We intend to work together to restore the shattered confidence in our politics and governance system. This election and its outcome represents an opportunity for a new beginning as we can begin to write a new chapter of our collective story. We need to consciously set the tone for the new direction in which we'll be traveling. My brothers and sisters, I want those words, my brothers and sisters, to be a reminder to all of you, a reminder to me, and to every individual who has just been elected or re-elected, that no matter what office you hold, no matter what your political affiliation is or has been in the past, the one thing we share in common is the nation Ghana. And it is that we want a much better Ghana. We want a Ghana that works for everybody and not just a few people. We want a Ghana that considers the well-being of all her citizens and affords them each the ability to live a life of dignity, a life of limitless opportunity. My brothers and sisters, from the Kaya Yo to the managing director, to the market women, the bankers, the teachers, security personnel, nurses, doctors, the pastors, the drivers, the tailors and seamstresses, we are all essential to the functioning and forward motion of this country. We, the people of this soil, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, are in fact our nation's greatest resource. This country, this land, is not for one person, or for one family, or for one tribe or ethnic group. This country, this beautiful, resilient, and resource-rich country that we so love, Ghana, is for all of us. This is our home, but it is not enough to just be born here and to die here. We must also be able to live here with satisfaction. We must be able to love, to dream, to laugh, to eat and dance and drum and share all aspects of our culture that was handed to us by our ancestors. And to do that,
the former president who is the president-elect and so Utieno a speech after the concession speech by Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia. So now the tone is set. Ghana said that idi kanka yebeko akotoa ba bibia NC. The obe win, the ebe declaration bibia NC. Ghana will move on. That is exactly what Ghana and Libya have said. That is exactly what is happening. Despite rampaging youth, causing distraction here and there, burning places here and there, which Obia condemn as far as the democracy is concerned. Yato abana we a declaration away. And you bring yenim penyin for et nase na ya say results no saying any one impression about the conduct of the elections, the outcome of the elections. Now I say post-election no, where do we go from here? And then we'll draw a conclusion on today's discussion. Yes, sir. Dr. Ajakon Odro enim challenges also far along the way, and I'm sure by the grace of God he will be able to join us live on the studio. For our discussion. But PV Jantua, who is a known face on this program, is already seated in his victory dress. PV, we walk over. Now it is saying, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is word Ben Krana Minusu. This is a landslide victory for the NDC. Yeah. Landslide. They be a free, apart from former President J.J. Rawlings. Anna Otumi win 56-57% presidential elections 1992, 1996. A free 2000, the year 2000 ever. Obi anywhere with me I win with 56.55%. And Obia so anywhere wedding Kugo as a presidential candidate with this number 41.6%, said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, any MPP in. So this is a historic landslide victory for the NDC. And then parliamentary, Usha Sita NDC sweep nationwide or to test majority support in parliament. And also so the free 2,000 ebano, yeah, na party majority, but not this magnitude. Our parliament. So congratulations to the NDC. You've done well. Your strategy worked, and then you deserve commendation. Now to the New Patriotic Party, anyone I will lose you said the Socrates aka edia to the dada no, or say unexamined life is not worth living. Unexamined life is not worth living, and until whatever you do, you should always remember that there is a need for re-examination, recalibration of the life to see what went wrong and how you can strategize and then proceed from there. So that is, you live mindful of the fact that there is tomorrow. You live today mindful of the fact that there is tomorrow. Say ochina anywhere, then abraba born and then be born saying, but if obo brand and then now kais ochina be then there are certain things you do, there are certain things you refrain from doing. So live as if there is tomorrow. Whenever you are dealing with people, you must always remember there is tomorrow, and you might need them tomorrow. You may end up needing help from the people who are asking for your help today. Live your life like there is tomorrow. Life is like a moving wheel. Sometimes you are up, sometimes you are down. Sometimes we destroy the bridges that we might need to help us cross back tomorrow. So live as if there is tomorrow. PB.
Yeah.
Now, your impression about the conduct of the but before that, Mame Emfa a resource no into Obi Bizam said a resource no way. Okay, so send the electoral commissioner no a declare presidential a resource no. Ye body tofa say ene koye. Mahamadou Baumia, the candidate for the New Patriotic Party, voter onyaye apart from the 9 constituencies are challenges binti na one day emeka hono. Voter onyaye no 4,657,304. And in terms of percentage, 41.61%. The 4.657304 no it translates into 41.61%. Now, omomo akekano meskipo for purposes of our discussion. Na ya say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, candidate of the NDC, enya 6,328,397, and no it translates into 56.55%. Now, of interest, two candidates of interest. One, Nana Kwame Bediako, an independent candidate. We call him Cheddar. Cheddar enya 84,478, and no it translates into 0.75%. And then our own Alan John Kwajo Chiramaten, independent candidates Fanfantoman, he had 31,202, translating into 0.28%. 31,202. So others no any, but for purposes of our discussion, I think these are the results. Now voter turnout. Eduke kan nia obi enyaye boma. Total votes are 11,191,422. Now that translates obviously into 100%. This is out of 18,774,159. So the voter turnout 60.9%. 60.9%. And total rejected ballots 239,109. 239,109. So okay, other aspira we perform you free now okay one hour can vote rejected ballots obviously we detail the crossing up far cry because okay than Alan Kojo Martin or other votes no at the Ebuboma. I'm not sure you get 239,000 rejected ballots no a bit up. But one PV voter turnout 60.9%. I don't know how to describe that. That is an issue. And then two, no, we are looking at the performance of the candidate. Maybe I would general impression about the conduct of the elections.
Yeah, lawyer Mamincha, what you for any one more shade na near Nanyanko Ponso, I say, what do my boy I buy a tree. I assume you, yeah. And you better Yanko Ponso because many people if you say, Baye, Bibia, behind, yeah. Besides that, they are very worried, voter turnout. I'm saying, we need details about the original winner crowd. Yeah,
of course.
Because our parties in a baby and I could be a nipana or more a barb on chain. Be share near Namnia call or more. In fact, radio programs and TV programs, I'm called this cat friends and data the friend did the friend. Now, it's a turnout to me, say, then there's a problem.
And this is an election. Two main political parties, adverta wabo what this election no mean who be sad. Both on air adverts it's unprecedented.
Yeah, because this time we all decided say we will get to the people.
Yeah.
And you call more no more on several occasions. We may share South to say and maybe only a house to house. Yeah. But you see, I'm saying, can't say me maybe. Then you can be free to be a grand and be sir. Can't say, share South in particular. There's a few people not your friend super service. The next house no so they want to cheat. You know, baby catcher say. Now, more can say, you need me answer on. Omo koto ambano ababe yi macheno. Omo be 5,000 and 7,000. Na yene koto abano elimo ba ba emo say na mo de maye.
The delegates or refer to the delegates.
Nti ma me ka say abanti ba ku tifia ba ku tie kira. Omo de nanka ni nsuo ni kan aka ekobe ya afenefa. Na omo committee ba ya efim bi omo di aba ye buka. Osi de ya kwa nze ba ku no ti omo fie oro. Obetua na ho aka nyina. Akoto akwa ba jollof nko nti mo bi kwa man kura ni wo fie o.
Why then jollof?
Wa mo bi anti tese ma me no virtually no or permission free onko. Enti no ni mani bi wa se wan kwa anko pie so na ayo so I said yes. Enti no hard because this time pa there obi afa bre explain policies and programs you call them change and man now turn out to be very worrisome. But for me I dey back on catch political parties in and say you drew baby Ghana for is not ready so much so obi aso and found say any party and I'm found say so why need the idea because my men some more kind there's another household na go abaso woman to pass this my men call me do okay say no my child odi next door no say na next my no odi me pa no so chance on kan dey say enti na won say oni pani bi on kan but when say mo ma ho le na mo dey na nteba ho say mbeko time so unti me fa
on the day of elections me ko to me hwe because no see ya follow elections we say ahokeka any line no queues near that even though electoral commission say no more than 800 per polling station na ya creative but you see clearly say ubekona nipa e d line no me wona woni fi kakra
yeah
young guys not to almost I mean said omonto aba no
you see the part
was shocking. I mean,
yes,
like only when you feel kakra young, they decide they say to aban.
This time so was the time Ushema parties in independent candidates in Nano, Ubia policy is just towards youth, you know, say a bit more bow. And I did back quite hard, no program during the elections. And I say, Nipana, ye fish ye, I did not know, or my tension, baby.
Baby, yeah.
And yes, I and fish ye, or my tension. And them said, yeah, and say, they came to listen.
Yeah.
But I was confess and some can say, and sit down to us because, like you was, made a message up and you call an man and quanta Bishop Sapon, Roman Calica, sorrow. They call you younger person, my phone no money,
yeah.
And on turn back, require them to train me at the car, fancy baby, and so to a banana. Yeah. And you know, a hard, we need to have a rethink about a whole lot of issues because Nipana, if you say, yeah, then I'm a woman. But almost, you know, they are amazing. It's a campaign be a woman.
Of course, so Kobo Kimpaluta, I mean, like, what the baby has so obedient, but on my side, you know, anyway, Ghana, you are somebody poor. You are somebody poor.
Very serious. We need to delve into it.
This delegate system, you will be. We will continue to say it. Sir, if we don't deal with this delegate system, this whole democracy that we are enjoying now, one day may come to a way on. Because the rate I scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to now you heard the outcome. The outcome. The ultimate, because political parties are, established to strive to win power, and NDC of all the challenges, the circumstances, and everything, you have thrived, and you have won massively.
Lawyer, I mean, say, it has a honey, or follow me throughout. Now, my friend, Ali be the act of absurdity. It appears, for the public regime be an account. Say when you cross our line, I guarantee you, say, and found baby, you go. Osha, Rollins time, and then make them no bidding when was 8 as some bagana call. Ebra sa speculation about so President Rollins akoto jacuzzi bar for manager. And so had in year 10 be affecting the panel core values.
Yeah.
And to know Sergeant in yes ship and one. Simon Bemuno and for such a confidence in Rollins. Even though because one hand over, but it is clear over hand over. Because I know to quite bonting or pay investors in now. In your rank of 14, we are now back. Then President Gofo came. A very profound statement to be aware as in social for any pada. Change you, see, more official way, Dean, our on yet meet to be, I will be able to my family, baby. Then the same thing sets in the man hotel issues in the Bemo. Then the Beckham President Gofo, Chikra, occasion be a or as or bonk or Fabasu, we or some born one of Mabaso. Gofo is Yamu Jumaya Tiauka. Yena bay at Manamano. Yena was your boy bason. That one was so saying her born bason. There's a man by Mano. Yana Baso Ukate. Then they acquire substantial amount of money. Sabbath and a criminal said, yeah, a EBR. And then one. And no, Obi Fisher. Now a similar to the Nayuni. So I'm interchange. So full interchange. Near Yasa for the Equavian B. Near Obabe Commission. For emergency center, na free maternal care or school feeding, health insurance, leap, Niman P. Then baby boys like I say, Ghana now, golden age of business.
Yeah.
It got to the point they were even as an amount ended for quite dear Panama. Now, president on house to house. Nobody knows. Are they one way?
Door to door.
Yes. And amazingly, you call. Run off. Now, on in an Ekufa, they are about 49 point something, and I'm about 47. afi run off no be mu ade na ayede atene ba wo parties no so attitude out se bribia obehu se incumbent no wa sha se de enom ene asa ekobia no na it is clear say baby omodu no wo me de mbeko 2016 it happened to us 2008 obekaya Nana Akufo last rally Accra academy kofo ko gina ho fiti anapa be 8 odu na wo be 4 yedi ampadu di anwum si so a ti sane man hu se wo ho then president came na woyumi sem no president ena nyame fa na crazy onya baby ni baby koye it was going to affect us but what saved this that time is it was very clear say some transactions in now between President Mills and appointees on you realize that President Mahama wasn't part of it. And you know, you in a new at the end this cool fee 2016. Just 3.6 million Ghana. Bas banding. Ubi say, I didn't go very Uhima Uhun and Simbium. I didn't beat many Muska. No more time Yakoboka and one. Now the issues whereby the account is in conformity to so we now crosses our line of absurd and what we then Nana Akufo there. Me can baby o can we do one group. It was a cathedral issue no. And why because we ma there no sabi unshele hu nyanse bi wo mu because obese o si da ma Nyankopon aso for no kwa form your board of ifo na wo so na buso say part be don play e sorry man committees ni si da no ene kwa mo fa so yes anema na afi ewi a chero bi say ye budan to agu ye judgment debt o si etua ye sika de komu so anana akodi obi ensem se ngunwan nti obi an unem ya na kwa kwese sebe sofo a utimi preachi man ko for sacred ni pe ni ye nyema nyina semba osiesie na ye bele be so no ba ko ye sofo ne akola wo ne tie akola nyema hwana ne nyema ye sofo me se ni fe ni kwa oti na ni no Obeka nsi ho because woman say wa we ye we and na wo san ye we then the ebe kan akiri na the profound statement back ope sika ko private sector na so ya no pa wo appointee back sika gunim pass wonim sika na no wono afi ensem se mo nwan ye ko tro krata ko abe emi se na be show a afi de ko minim so be free mu ensem se nwan afi de wo wona be bon sama ye na atame ko wo ye nyansa se sika gunim pass and so who say parties in do happen no mu nyina adwene e ko one side then it is clear so o me don beko
okay
Nana Akufo free SHS or commission agenda 111 or commission and bridge Kumasi one when we free we some interchange we me catch will be low the more we commission now because we be an say I don't know time we the ono fee say ono to ma previous na say nka pay attention e ma no wan hwe wa ko edi hia wi e na wo de e de e ba ha entina de no wo ma na bi na me hu de na se me hu no mu hu na because it was very clear and Dr. Baumia ni 70 bull solutions no lawyer no kwani nyame ni na me buso am question se omanya ye deka ye hu se yentimi ntua ka no enti ese wo ma ye de wo maka no wo mo nteka ne bi mfiri so wo mo ti mfiri ye betima ye adwuma ye de atua ka no ya twemu ama ye se ye mfa ntua now o be kan se ma kire ya you never made mention of idea a major problem issue council me buso be say one shame just even one sentence outline say 70 bull solutions no omo strategy bia e be raise funds internally am ye de tutua saka then we all promising eti uyama enkwani pini ne paper mo abe asema keken in because it was like I said all is well with us
anyway so the sense of the outgoing government a man for that total rejection
and
of
your system no opa you go back from 2008 it starts 2000 the same set of issues you change maybe and one you change
Okay.
And it's amazing, say, Obi a ho who's idea we na we ye to abantia no. Ube wan so so no we den. Wo ginam. Ube kan no nyina ko one side. No be different sa. Ade no. Ti unya hu sa ade na time it was very clear MP before. Don't be
Okay. PV Jantuana Osheno Enyumbre Utieno Enyumbre, he speaks for the National Democratic Congress, familiar face on this program. Dr. Ajakon Odro Enim, sir. I'm told, sir, when you challenge Kakra along the way, but I'm praying, sir, obey me, Abedru Studios, and ya Jumadi. So, Punch, and I will share our Kessben television. We are also live on all social media handles, so we'll share DSTV, Go TV, and all other Facebook and YouTube and all that. You can send us a text or a WhatsApp message, send a medical. I can not watch the watching a Jumadi IAD Enyumbre 0551 599 is our text line or WhatsApp line. You can just send us a text message. Okay, so Sendena kind of said people were not enthused about the free SHS. Well, beneficiaries of free SHS no cry na man for expect say obe wona dia ho keka cry be kwa to aba no boom. I mean, like they were nowhere to be found.
Say now opportunity we share nkola bi. Eno mu din komo ya. Na ko say on parents na e catch up say eso ba mfaso.
Ba mo akasa de.
Obi nka say eso ma mfaso. Ba hun say ye wade bi wo ye ho. Wode ade bi ba sisi ya. Na obi kwa e kire adwene wo ho a. Eno so na asaye manso. Because near man ye cover free to almost share see na numbers na e nkisi kakaka na. So mo pay attention anka omo timi twemu kra wo sa free friends SHS level no man e dey konanim because it was like we were looking at one side once I provided free SHS no parents nso maybe we school what if we need money opportunities ni ho and we have bonkum ye na osan behwe ni fa na nso we no me nya relief bu ha eno sa relief no kwa mensan kan ti na o mo ka so sika no e mehye ubotom de na nso ka ba ise na edu ba bi no na intimi ntran ye we nipa ni bi etime o hwe NDC ya to abayama ise ya I'm looking at it in two friends different idea yen sama ye kan ye the 2016 years so ye more ho modern ya nyi see and before ba be 2 3 4 times any niema I want to share enkofo mu no and I'm much particular about because I be a lawyer. So when you can call Jennifer so ba there is no way you can make good use of it.
Okay.
The person this for your tears say. Yes, you compare you be there you conform you know mo din komo you compare the eye and the almost why you sika bo mo nsem kan na. But the underlying fact was that a buffo na eshiri pa mu because near na ban yi na nipa no omo kan na and that is what has friends and epi etime I take service to know to say oti area bi na obi wo ska ho unim nipa one day bi a otwa mu a chia good morning doesn't mean say unimu but so chia ba ko a now person woni ne bo amani dia wona wo so take advantage na ekwan of so obitima ben na obitima che so wo ko na no me chia wo ha no na wo he ekwan a wo be fa so a obitimi eni nipa na tima enya de ayenkofa. We have a lot of work to do. Because it is clear that Ghana for one so will be as we So the best thing is to carry Nippon along. Because patients are they train will be say ye train. But you me and say no. Say yaman.
Baby read this statement to Alex Mode. Alex Mode asema woka we na kame asema. Alex Mode said the MPP is about to experience what the NDC went through post 2016. We won this election by a landslide because the NDC had put institutional changes in place to be fit for purpose. Contrarily, the NPP was in denial of the wrath and pain the Nana Addo Bawumia government caused Ghanaians. We want them back stronger in 2028. We want a fair challenge. Ghana must build strong institutions, and that starts from having world-class, well-managed political parties.
Yes, it is true. I side with him. But he shouldn't also forget, say, in 2020 elections, you see, there will be a seat 2020, a properly NDC with this victory. So, President Mama make a bold statement and say, I am coming back with my NDC to right the wrongs. And to hear middle class now, they were comparing a Nima Munibi. Then it's about me Thompson and says, oh, I was only a driver's mate. Forgotten and say, we spearheaded so many things. When I will explain, when I will say, you know, what we also understand in time and now we animal. And today you are saying that you were only a driver's mate. And meaning baby I make kind of say, the advisors no or mom one. So only up. And I can say, well, I'm involved, but I don't make the final decisions. Ubia better was. Then so now may press me baba the final decision maker. No. Ebi ade bo na ha kufa de fa me nya dem de be fa ha me de be fa ha at least nkan nipa betina say na onye the final friends and authority na bibisa. But once niema now believe in theories who friends and who channel out I everything just solve problems, especially about great hall I'm 2018 or something. Also I said then, say if your economic fundamentals are weak, exchange rate will expose you. It was right. Now it is still holds water. But it doesn't mean if the city is depreciation, it doesn't mean say the economic fundamentals are weak. So what is it? Now a WAP logic say will be beginning sir. I find Professor Jamba for me to know UBS in class.
Now, so PB so I'm struggling to try some nyasa but I'm not getting it. So what the sema ye can nyina to nchen a former president Mahama, the president-elect, Usha voter Unyaye 2020, 6 million plus.
Yeah.
Now Usha voter Wenya 2024, still 6 million plus. Now what difference are a one 2020 numbers now Unyaye 6 million. I'll give the exact numbers. And then they are Unyaka or they are winning over 56%. In route 200,000, be 150 something thousand. And the back can vote no. But or their percentage of about 56.55% because but we are voter nana dunya 2020. Now on marginal vote difference that on then candidate Mahama and tell me over 500,000. A drop here from 6 point something now be drew 4 point something. That's about 2 million people ordinary no omo tuma Akufo-Addo in 2020 abano mankotokra.
Yeah, it is because
amankotokra it's not as if say omo akọ and omo akoto ama endi omo ankotokra. And until MPP vote no a drop over 2 million votes. And then former President Mahama I saw a president-elect the vote to not appreciated by about 150 something thousand. And Amananyas are overwhelming a day. And then I account for say over 2 million people are almost to Obama MPP in 2020. Almost decided about Omonkotokra. What factor what is then the show?
I mentioned what you be. Say Obiano, so be yadi. None from Soba. Maybe I say that you know come away. They were quite also fascinated. But the way I thought about Omiyana and Akufo started 2014, 15, 16. Ghana for nya omujidiro. Omo ba ban mu ebeto asukwa by 2020 na bi madwene eyese. Oh yento omo so oh ombe. Na ebi mu still na ebi woda so no. Ade yankofo ba be ye ade no. Ebi so no yento omo so bi aba. So from 2020 na eba no. Na tell me can say me say it looks as if there is no integrity in the conversations of the president. Okay, start a friends and debt restructuring. There will be no haircut. Naysayers, naysay. If we are chino, na ye yunko footing. Start agenda 88 no. During COVID, or catch say who say I was saying now, on my stipulated time on the bed, on the baby. We are no one Baba can't say we were overly ambitious. You see, once you start doing some of these things, so Ubakaya, you complain about entertainment, so you know, a Sunday region. No means a number, Yanshamo time. Na epejaba na na kufa nemu wabekuma so kwotena radio stations bi na kwabere for say abana hwe omuntu na say ozo me obi antim hwehuna me wa wonsa say
ukokroboti de wa odia
then eno so ba he no enema bi a wotare echi a edo ba akonwam no corruption friends and family and friends want man ho hwe ntafe obi ahwe wa o say na papa ye no ye
na sen ko ana
meba o se enema me dia ma e ma aban su na se nipa no ko Rollins se na nkoko
anyway
fofo se na nkoko ana me bua but e basa o running mate na ono e ba be jama na no ye hwe de ono be de hwe so kaya Professor Amos ko kan se mi se obe consult President Rollins 24 hours na mbua
yeah
e hwa na ni isa akwai mu ye pesi pere manoko se o so ne ho na akodi de me eno na de ku President
Ghana voters the Ghana
hwe omo wa de bi ho se wunya show sa de na kye ne wi a onka bi an kye obi 2016 the same thing happened to us ye commission ha ye we ha wo ye kona ho ye himo because we feel the right time I was so ya de no wanye na wa sa kan ensem bi e ma no e be yen se akwai yim so nye stable do dia so be kan ya ye di sa vehicle large tax on the ba ni yi we ye the ba ni yi we ensem se mo ran ene ma so on be jeje mo se we di e ba ye wie wo ka 11 wo kan bi a 11 wo kan bi a 11 afi ade be we a ba bi e jan le jan wo be so wo ye nyom kwa momko because some of them na no there is no integrity in it and it is hard in the Bible it nipa bi no free say o mo gidi wo and don't forget say nipa na nkoto aban 2 million now what it is telling you is say gradually nipa ni be lose confidence our politicians mo
because unim said started okay but let me give the exact figures unza nanado enya 6,777,325 with that figure no onya 51.27%. Now at that time former President Mahama enya 6,264,505 odinya 47.39%. Now bra 2024 na Mahama enya same 6,328,397 na odenya 56.655%. Into here or appreciate in terms of votes, but votes not they appreciate here we 2.6.2 and 6.3 difference now a them no shada endorse biasa. But then people are drop it from 6,777,325 to 4 million.
Yeah.
650, a difference of about 2.120 million of the 2020 figure. Enti sana parliamentary ni say oh yeah analysis ube say parliamentary no NDC candidate in the vote na bia appreciate kitwe bi na MPP candidate let me lose over 10,000 people ankoto abana man
hwe opa yen kan MPs bia ensem bi o kan na it doesn't sit well with constituency shobi di say kiti amonkan an don pre o say na mo kan ye kan mo say nsuo chen nipa na woto ato abama akura so no wonya nsuo no mu na wo be kan sem papa bia to hwe o say sa twen
ti o mo ko to kra and a presidential no so nipa no ko to presidential na auto parliamentary. It is a 2 million people now anchor to presidential. They will not be there to vote the parliamentary for you to get vote appreciation. So we hear it no be bra. Was and this in no when kakrebi na be kan the 2020 parliamentary vote no but now or their way because people did not drop over about 10,000 votes so, in some places.
You see the whole thing I didn't I can say the entire 8 years in last 4 years you know. Omanye bibia. And you see enema na ekoso pa no na oka no mde ato oka no mde ato na enkofo adwere ye den e wo so with NDC, what we need to do, near my person here, say, you will take advantage over confidence. I can't afford ya. Now, right from the word go, no, you put this, you bring the country together. You have policies. You see, we will be very transparent to Ghanaians, especially when we want to even organize our economic dialogue on the economy. No. It will change so many things. And now, make because it's a game changer. Now, we cannot rely solely on your manifesto and your demand Ghana force. We need to sit down with them throughout the friends and dialogue. No, near her almost against the almost here then a deba. Obi or Ghana have been say, they say your friends and Kenya issues. You can't gloss over it.
Yeah,
and you may do baby Kenya. There's a problem.
Yeah,
and in this now this agenda then a show. And they will say organize dialogue in such a way. So young find force when you hear such a good year and when you make a good year. We only want to say you discover baby and the way forward, you know, because lawyer me Kenya situation you won't see no. Say and continuous policies and programs we can never get out.
So IMF for no, former president, the president-elect John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, Wakase, there will be renegotiation with the IMF of the IMF, deal, no. And IMF for no so and you remember here almost so one statement almost to say they are also ready to renegotiate with the president-elect on some of the way.
Yeah.
But profound statement, president-elect President Mahama, what can say? Promises bebre, but economic reality will mean say they have to look at it and see. And people were saying, hey, Papa see now over started running away from promises. But the reality check and they say, who say there are challenges.
Oh yes,
and we have to be real. And we inauguration. President Akufo-Addo, outgoing president, can say, the economy now are rebound. Growth now is now estimated 7.2% to the pre-COVID era. No, former President Mahama, president-elect in Kenya, no, can say or those figure no, or because there has to be the transition team will have to validate and all that. My point is say transitional arrangements. No. Medium say follow. Say now. Look, you heard the team. What follow team? No?
Yes.
You heard the team. Now you heard transition.
What I can say is both sides and teams are all my present. Very experienced. Ubia felt that they equal Johnny team. And I bet didn't say you know. Ubia a very conversant with idea also Bushari also inside them.
Say don't get any suit or the call a international conference center on. Some people you always see him or smoke anyway, but I mean like suit pie in tie. I would say yes, general London. Now we team now, the NPP team are going, government team you have the Attorney General Godfrey Yabu Adame, you have Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu. Who know? In fact, I was a bit surprised. Majority leader in Parliament. And when I saw his name, I said, "Hey, seriously." But Nidin Ewoho, Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu, as Minister for Presidential Affairs. You have the Finance Minister, Dr. Mahmoud Aminanda. You have Interior Minister, Honorable Henry Kote. You have Defense Minister, Honorable Dominic Nitiwu. You have Shirley Ayokoboche, who is Foreign Affairs. You have Martina J. Mensah Kosa, who is Local Government. And then National Security, Albert Kandapa. NDC side, you have Honorable Akosua Frima Oparene, head of the presidential staff appointed under the Presidential Office Act. Then you have Honorable Julius Debra, co-chairperson, only the NDC side. You have Honorable Johnson Asiedu Enketia, member, Honorable Fifi Fiavikwete, member, Dr. Kalitos Mahama, honorary member secretary to the transitional team. Dr. Valerie Sawyer, who is a member. Professor Kwamena Ahoy, who is a member. Honorable Dr. Kessben Atoforsin, member. Mahama Yarega, honorable, also a member. Honorable Guzitando, when I saw his name, I was also a bit surprised. Because for a very long time, I've not seen him. He is also there as a member. And then you have Dr. Edward Omane Buama, a member, and then Honorable, Right Honorable Edward Do Ajaho, also a member. Now we look at Dimbia for a very long time now until now they are back. I know where teams, both sides now, experience, people.
Because you see, where we've reached, so here Presidential Transition Act, Act 2012 Act 845 now.
Yeah, 845. Yeah.
It makes all the provisions, and me who BB I was a BB Basa Ejmawe, and it gives 24 hours after the declaration of
the
also you put our team together. To him at this time, can I say we are ahead of we now here, and we have both sides now. I never quite messed and say, "Ma will be on preparation in mind." No more follow procedures now.
Okay.
Because Ubusa me personal view say right after this. Economic dialogue, we need another team from MPP and other political parties to sit in.
They're all inclusive kind of thing.
Yes, because so that once we are findings in the bar, nobody will sit somewhere and say I see and we and to say. So once we all agree that this is our situation, we are on the same page. And I feel will be any situation here. You will now if you have a coin, you better first you better my prescribable fine solutions. You better solve that problem because. Say yentimi anye bibini ye na ekoye twema mentwe wo ho nso a forever na fe de chance ya samba back to situation e den ye wo mro di obi eka bia no obi anye ntum na fe na ye twema mentwe
okay
sa twema mentwe nso ba mu a it is na NDC for we are maintaining so we left funds in 3 different funds the funds were there but when people say on bag you are but who comes to say the funds were there and this time, baby, a situation you can be muda. So we need to sit near and and I have every confidence that President Mama will provide that kind of leadership. It's a Ghana, you probably now a matter of a trustworthy leadership. And President Mama fit in say, obey me, I bring you now together. Now, if you be a you never bit my cabo my ya. And providing a clear path for us. Because say you continue we bam the atoha we bam the atoha na
it's a long way to go. Okay, to Professor Aaron Michael Quay, also the president appointed to be the to the advisory council, and then Honorable Right Speaker Honorable Abamba Bensuso and this appointed to the advisory council. So you have familiar faces. They know there's already presidents in interaction with the president-elect, and so we've known each other almost. I am seeing say another a translatical form one because form one
no because
you see
so be quite a younger person by virtue of your position when your opportunity you can't transfer that person say you're younger because we'll be able to show maturity and will be experienced enough. That's what I'm saying. This will be a precondition in mind.
Okay.
You can ask all the questions and everything. Say you provide the answers to be a man way, then you say we see. You can still demand answers. Say if you are not satisfied. Yeah. And one more in this way, say a long time I start transition air question now. And can any rise will be piable and tell a statement to be now a codiri start confidence in the whole thing.
Okay.
At least they can all hold on. No more, or report yes. I think
okay.
To me, it will help a lot. Yeah.
Mene PV Jantua and Etchin Como in Bray, Meheta Media, Kamia said, and a doctor bit me. Ababe drew her. He had a genuine challenge along the way. I know my dream, sir, and Kebia, it could be resolved. But Dr. Ajako Odro, I wish you well. I know, sir, would have loved to be here. Okay, now let's come to the issue. But I say videos now. The speech by President-elect John Dramani Mahama about post-election violence. Namabo, Dr. Baumia so there na call for no. Namabo could be they are calling on the police to act on this electoral violence. Justin Kodria Sama Okai, General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Naire President-elect His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on this post-election violence. If you have the video, let's listen to them.
Anna MPP, the Frank Tuni, Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bamia, a press conference, a car said, Abanwa Tuna, ye share MPP, ya resource, I have politina, you will say, ye didn't. Nakin Seka, sir, and a more what you know. Quebec one Masunja or member, say Beya, a control by the attention woman, Quebec for. Nesuso, what can say, a normal cost were member, and this is what it out for. And nam collation centers be a young carbon way. Air Force Electoral Commission for Baby Omo the two. SC Electoral Commission for the second. SC also. Every setting now. Omo declare my end is someone release our parliamentary season. Parliamentary season American oneself. Dome Kwabenya. Ablekumanov. Okai Central. Tema Central. Afano North, Obwas East, Afano Southwest, Akwetia, Suhum, Kwantia North, in Sawa Dritri, Techima South, and I will win. Sebi, Kemam Kabia Mumbo and the day man. What do you mean 100%? And the way we know now on Saka, they are not the idea. I didn't number for the Patapasem, a quadrifun said, Obia Energy.
Election. This is a moment of hope, unity, and opportunity for our great nation. However, I must address a matter of urgent importance tonight. Transitions from one administration to another create the impression of a vacuum of power, and certain people are easily compelled to act in their own parochial interest instead of the national interest. I've received reports of attacks on state offices and installations. While it's unclear who is behind these attacks, I condemn them in no uncertain terms. These acts must cease immediately. As I said during my post-declaration speech, I urge the youth not to vent their frustration in criminal enterprise. Instead, they must channel their anger and frustration into the positive enterprise of resetting and rebuilding our beloved nation. I urge all our citizens to remain calm and avoid actions that could harm our institutions and our democracy. We have fought hard for change, and now is the time to demonstrate our commitment to rebuilding the Ghana we want through unity and understanding. Because state power is still in the hands of the present administration, I call on the President and the security agencies to act decisively to curb the ongoing acts of lawlessness immediately. I thank you, my fellow citizens, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. My brothers and sisters,
as someone so President-elect, or also so a kind. Now, when you know, still I'm not here, baby, or I want your moise. People would have observed these things. Me, and I may ever walk a crack a security impending for now, as if say a drew baby, they throw their hands in the air. Now me heard touching my niece, the police for no Gina Horn and Ranch, say, or more to trap war, brick war. There are instances where they can't seem to act. President, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo is still the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. People expecting him to make a statement on this decisive statement. People are not hearing something like that from him. IGP, you are not hearing any serious statement from him. And then of course, what's going on? So because the former president-elect can, you know, or say, or no, call it on.
Yeah.
The president also see any the security for to act, and then no, there was a call on them to act. Why?
I am glad you said many will share the same point because
Why? President Kufuor won't hand over. You are still the president.
And now we are appointed.
What's going on?
Once you can appoint, and I don't know, you see, the Ramamiacho statement, we call on President Mahama to call a you have no evidence. We are not called here and this before. What shoots? So what evidence that you just put it out.
Now the PV, I didn't say. I mean, if you are watching live, you see these things. Rampaging you for more, Yantiasia, my own declare result. I mean, we see these things. Then the video, we see this video thing.
Your IGP or Service Command, Commander in Chief. To be on the for to is a BBC member, one you bush and I could for one in Busa. And to when you, and it's a President ever make a statement. Because your institutions know how you master.
Miti or Maneboama was also appealing to President Kufuor on security forces. They should act decisively. So Omunkro for Omon and this phone crow for or yes, they should deal with them in according to law. And it appears because what's going on?
And this is right. To me,
apart from so Bakase Munya, you don't have the
Commander in Chief to me, Commander when you say the Commander in Chief on a man and sir. Why a president till say 6 January and I'm one. Yes. And then say, well, now I said intentionally no person who sleep a friend on the job. Because never we are more a trip and mamma so the Dr. Baumiacho so one cancer and coffin. And there's no cancer. Too many crowd. And Rana or more tunis is no. You who to me why they can't decide anything. Or not 2 million crown. And they been 1 year. I'm a Nippon class as I'm about to Becase. Will be away side in Indiana or say, I'm running any day. Any day. Now, what you want? Only effort to me beyond shedding so. And when my never conversation with the count, say, yeah, any baby I said, yeah, no credit any offer. Ye change ya by 2016 ye change ya by. Never win AC. But nobody appears to condemn it. It is a one condemn the scene no na. And then you know so what can be. Now I say we are ready more. My name so Beka President Kufuor or appointing new CEO of Cocoa Board, Mr. Opokufo Phoebe. Who be as one chance and I will be called he said the president. But Mama Beko one appointed
Domlovone, yeah.
And there's an MP before and come down. And then you appointed deputy commissioner. Dear no Makafa Humbium.
People are condemned. You
can't condemn it.
Or within the time, no.
I'm not in Tiano. And the Yenya is Adiano. I gave you a Biana, it is within the law. I won't let him more. So if it's on moral grounds, be fine. But I want to me, and then you know, Muslim will be. And your home then, will be the end. I will see guys animal now.
Natural, no.
Yeah, because you see no and ya.
And there's also a
Unya and no and not Emeka and Debbie.
Anyway, we need peace. We need peace because anyway. It may my cancer about to win a wound here say nipa ba ko pempo ebe hwere ne kra. Unfortunately, nipa be for so people na free because of this election. Why?
Why? Maintain maybe as a form. You have to be 4 years. At least one to me in fact 3 months in every year. And yet thorough education about electoral systems and procedures. Emma ordinary Ghanaian be anti-procedure be.
Now ordinary Ghanaian that's a procedure. I say procedure where the PV so person TSA. Very simple. No. Polling station and a resource no ye kind no. Obia jina hobi. No obia hunia obia. If you ho echo coalition center no na we are happen na the problem do na abayo. Big by electoral commission so share CIA 127 na yɛbobɔ aba no wɔ polling station hɔ no awie a sɛ wowɔ problem bi ɛwɔ hɔ a challenger, that is where you raise your challenge so that the co-collation center hɔ na then na ka yɛ recount sɛ obiara no an raise challenge bia ɛwɔ hɔ a ballot boxes no yɛmfa nkɔ collation center hɔ yɛde form na yɛ total na yɛde kɔ collation center enti ballot boxes na easy for no instructed sɛ ɔmo mfa nkɔ ɔmo district offices. It is only where I will be a raise challenge and the co-collation center echo-kind. But unfortunately for EC4, no, more offices maybe were district office. I heard also on the ballot boxes no qua. It so also happened to be a whole collation center. And the microphone who said omo the idea no qua. Hey, yanti said that yakoshi mukwansona in certain places ya bo mona ya jipishi. I mean why?
No, ni paradon wano. The hotel teacher say ni person tiase. Dipana fan tiase. Then number 2.
Where's also at no montiase?
Baby, pin tiase. Obuko busanse collision center kwan deba dia onim. I can guarantee you so you ni patent na wo se here. One way mu 7 ko ni ma dey collision center.
Unya sure say political party for ya mu kan say mo anko ho ankrofo no be ye kululu bi nti mo nra mo nko ho na ma sa de bai.
Ye church obia asem na se no tiase ya. Ebedu baby no obia be hu ade pot se ade we kwa we em say enye de emfa kwan. Number 2. Me mentia se ballot papers na yin na ye printing nyina won kan. Ni anse gu ka mu. Ni afa na ye kwa ko distribute.
Integrity of the paper.
No, me bo. But friends papers. Security features be na also.
Security features be bre one day.
Yes, but she
I have unya printing o baby ah.
There be me ba. Ye na ya advance because your printing press ni bi wo massive any other areas na on bit my printing. Yeah. Me my printing now on bit my printing.
No, but I don't print boxes so no there say nka ballot papers na per se a ye ba we ni den kenya problem. It is about say ye boxes na ye papers na gum a free police station wa ko collation center na problem o.
You remember what it me do baby so papers na ama me do ntem. At least Kumasi Kufuridua Sunyanene tam ubako your print nye bibia na mko nkan print. Ye on bet my print.
Okay.
Ye print ye
but that they are more the contemo. They put the code days before the election.
Even the cost in transporting them.
Anyway.
And also almost efa kwan bi so.
We should get to a stage where I am here sa ballot.
Yeah, because baby na ye ni na kon kan afa na say go kam dia ba. No. Me end dem no mo nya abi. O mo nya hu bibi.
Anyway. My messages are abana ye can kind kakra then we'll come back to wrap up on this. Okay. So let me see. But you said the bia mekano no o be kire wa adwan fine, that's fine, but o be issues about him the bia wa obi enkan. Okay, Chremes Sadat our accountant of okay. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. Good evening to you, lawyer. Please help us by telling His Excellency Nanado to pay the NAPCO 9 months stipend before leaving office. Homo sapien prophet. Hey, still areas 9 months home there. Good evening. My name is Felix Ohene Frimpom Boating. They used to call me Good Boy. You are doing a great job. God bless you. And also our mother, Ghana. Thank you very much for your commendation. Good evening to you, lawyer. I don't know what would have happened if NDC had won. NDC had won the elections. If NDC had not, if NDC had not won the elections, it's very barbaric, uncouth, uncivilized, and irresponsible for NDC supporters going around attacking people and destroying property. Why should the whole the names you are mentioning were on neck of EC at Collation Center to declare results in their favor? This must stop because power is transient. Nana Mwako from here. Nana Mwako, I appreciate your point very much. Just that names Nana Obubono for purposes of allow me say man Bobodino. Good evening to you, lawyer. Kumasi radio and TV presenters are the cause of MPP downfall. You constantly keep the truth from them for parochial interests. I watched you last night in a one-to-one interview with Kwabena Japan, and you could hardly find any what was saying, but I refuse to ask him critical questions. But Otanga Obuase. Well, Otanga, your point is well appreciated, but we sit here as host engagement we are getting question. That's why we ask you to send us questions and so that we can also put it across. Good evening to you, lawyer. In the light of this heavy defeat suffered by the MPP, it will be a Herculean task for the MPP to claim back all the seats it has lost to the NDC. This is not the time for blame game. They need unity and a focused strategy moving forward. George Osai in Kumasi sends us this message. George, maybe so I can say, I don't know why any answer and kind of say also kind of, and also will not heal the wounds for the unity you are talking about. Good evening to you, lawyer. I'm now rising from my shock. Up to now, I don't know the reason why MPP lost the elections. So some Ghanaians want to tell us that they don't like development, but I heard some people saying that they like food. Please, the votes that former President Mahama got in 2020 general election is the same vote he got in 2024. This means most MPP members didn't go out to vote. So MPP members, why you didn't go out to vote? MPP, we should stop the blame game and heal ourselves. NDC didn't win the elections, but MPP members gave out to former President Mahama and his NDC members. It's a shame that after the elections, NDC members are attacking people. Okay, this is coming from MPP will bounce back. Bright Takwa sends us this message. Bright, former President Mahama, now President-elect, appreciated in terms of votes over his 2020 figures. But send our MPP microphone and control Abanama party. Lawyer, NPP lost the elections because of global pandemic like COVID-19, Russia war, Israel, Hamas war, and everything you said about Hashim. They say free education. We told you. Kobe, as simple as sends us this one. Kobe too is also saying, he says, some say, Bibia, Ukraine war, you also lost the elections because of Ukraine war. Good evening to you, lawyer. I'm Afrani. Pakuso Estate, Kumasi. I will attribute the disappointing and humiliating loss of the MPP to the bad governance of Nana Akufo-Addo, especially economic mess and the neglect of Ashanti region, where we were promised 550 changes but nothing to show, coupled with abandoned projects of President Kufuor and Mahama in Ashanti region. Okay. Now, this one says, good evening to you, lawyer, and the good citizens of Ghana. I am ordaining to the but I'm disappointed in the Ghanaian voter. Lawyer, it seems we are fanfare voters, and I don't see real politics in those calling themselves politicians. Thank you. And that intimidation, thank you also for your message. This one says, good evening to you, lawyer. Now the MPs, appointees, and directors who victimize our own Ghanaian people in their constituencies and agencies by denying them opportunities due them, I guess next year you will be there again to victimize them. The cry of the youth of Afija Kwabre North, Kachri sends us this message. Now, this one says the two major problems that are sending people to opposition are NDC use media to talk only evil about this government. COVID-19 pandemic did a great harm to the MPP. Yajamfi from Kumasi sends us this message. Lord, good evening to you. I agree with PV. I agree with PV that if you don't know how you got something, you might not know how to use it. This means NDC will collapse free SHS because they're not the originators of it. Lawyer, Why NDC are worried about a new recruitment? They forgot JDM said he is still a president till 6 January 2017 when he did same thing and even gave a bauxite to his brother. Please tell them we don't want any excuses. Be a lawyer, thank you. Kwaku Yabua with him. Since this say, lawyer, thank you too. And I say thank you too. Kwaku. Now this one says, good evening to you, lawyer. It is undeniable fact that people who got opportunities in my constituency were NPP delegates or people who had a link with party delegates, the MP and constituency executive. This was the cry of our own people. Please kindly tell Fijakwa Abre North MP that the youth are enlightened now. Apathy, 100%. Nana Kwesi sends us this message. Good evening to you, lawyer. Nana Akufo-Addo didn't do well to Bawumia because some people, Nana Akufo-Addo had not listened to the people of Ghana. For example, the issue about the call of the dismissal of the then finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, also the whole of 8 years, there wasn't ministerial reshuffle. To me, there's more anger to most people, including NPP fans. This is sent by Adansi Pimpim Muating, Akomadan Offenso North Ashanti region. Okay. I've also heard, and my good friend and brother and their peer could be also attributing the same thing to the loss of the MPP. Good evening to you, lawyer. I'm a person of Okai Andrews from Kwame Danso. I'm in the Senate West District. In my opinion, several factors contributed to the MPP defeat. Firstly, the party's failure to address pressing economic issues such as high inflation and unemployment have eroded voter confidence. Additionally, allegations of corruption, mismanagement of public resources have damaged the party's reputation and trustworthiness. Lastly, internal party conflicts and divisions may have weakened the party's campaign and ultimately affected their performance at the polls. We, the people of Sunny West, are still in pains for voting against McKay as our MP. Well. NPP always play loose game at the end of their 8 years in governance. With the security, you are in power and you call upon to act by incoming government. 2008, President Kufuor was asked not to go to time because of security problems. Just imagine, Ray sends us this message. Now let me come back to you. Messages, I can't be 11 minutes to end the program. Now let's come back to the studio and let's look at what are we looking at between now and the swearing in. What are your expectations that is saying?
Oh, I don't expect anything bad to happen because I think and we will not be any exception. I only wish and pray that we will improve way better an improvement of what we've done previously. So we'll be on city bags. I mean, no. I don't think they'll be born in BRBC.
There be a binum Ashasia or cassette with a overwhelming majority in Parliament, NDC may end up amending the constitution and cancel baby. From where you sit,
you see, people don't follow history. I think in 1992, young Colonel Parliament didn't see it. Young Valley Roads na any BBA on tour and BBA ever head to Ghana. So NDC we have the track record there. Even when we have the full house crana, we will not misbehave.
Okay.
And I can assure Ubia Wuchi Mibia say this time we are going to work with our brothers in the MPP. And I think that there will be no workout because we see numbers in Ukraine and it is now Yena was our fourth republic, a democracy way. So we own it. So we will do everything possible to make it serve the intended purpose. Until this time, we will say there will be no workout. You know, we build a consensus. IABB, I will say just to ensure continuity.
Okay.
Because in our attempt to reset Ghana, no, we can't be doing some of these things. We have our way, have your say, and we have our way. No, reset, no. No. So we will work step by step along the way. We will respect them, not say your numbers. No. It will not happen. Because never says you buy any reset.
So, there's going to be a reset.
Oh, you see, what we are saying is our old way of doing things, we need to change it.
Okay.
And reset means we changing our style. To reset a phone is different. To reset BB different. To reset Ghana doesn't mean that we are clearing everything. No. But we need to bring a new way of doing things. And and you need to bring everybody on board. It is so good for almost no. At least say the TB, we need almost contributions. They are part of the whole system now. They also have to continue. The separate ways in time past now and yielding good results to be my head. And I'm 100% sure. Say a day mama episode yeah. Now we create another part between Dan Kwaman ye body everybody say President be by was not buy. Create a part and
we are surprised and are shocked with the performance of Alan Kwadwo Martin.
Bibi. Nipa bi o a na come be person beto abani bi ama no, but they realize say ye koto ahwe na wantimi anya den. Anwen na change no mpese ye den e ba no. Change na anya den amba. So for sure you so and this for betim the change number. So let's go and support them.
Tom got to man this.
Yes. Because they who say changing because they will the MP for Ben army will be and some can no or may be different. So if you want to change there, why don't you go and support a friend and NDC? Knowing very well as I said, will be a bit my general from so I did the same some year from Zoe. Woman my quenya meet my correct no. And so one for watching will be a or would you still and baby would
Hey, but honestly, me 31,000 there, 202 there. Because Chada na 84,000. It almost 85,000.
Shall I not already say? Or build a new thing. And Alan's uncle was supposed the base and was supposed to come from MPP. Yeah. And to no man my in now because I say about to man and uncle for best and Kaholi.
Wow. I see. Now, this one says, good evening to you, lawyer. Lawyer, these politicians will kill us. NPP and DC, same things every day and now. Look at infrastructure now. Let's think about the future, not now. Kwachi Edward Nasa of Tonsu Agogo sends us this message. Now, this one says, okay, I think we're talking about, let me see, what are the messages? Okay, so this one says what is this?
In Saturday's election.
Okay.
This is a moment of hope, unity, and opportunity for our great nation. However, I must address a matter of urgent importance tonight. Transitions from one administration to another create the impression of a vacuum of power and Senate people are easily compelled to act in their own parochial.
What is this? Okay, let me see what is happening here. Oh, okay. I think the messages are here, but when you open, they go back way back to the, I don't know when. Okay, so we have about 4 minutes to end the show. Your final assemble if you try to would be for. Well, there are plenty messages here, but I'll try say it takes you way back. I don't know what's happening. Your final where you?
Yeah, lawyer, the me catch in your Ghana phone and say Gideon Omanya dia to Abanama NDC. President John Dramani Mahama edi anymore. GDB yen to tunase.
Okay.
You at the airport I was say yema Oman Ghana. We are going to ensure good governance because good governance are tough from in the last 8 years. And no na ama wa how na man hu PI de abayeso. Good governance it will lead to economic growth, higher incomes. Nipa hu ne fa hu dia wo yede owo. And we are set to say you be more than say state institutions no. You be strengthen state institutions no.
Okay.
Ama my independent or my bit my year or my juma year. Unya set sa ade in place the aka now will fall in place.
Okay.
Once I all good we say Ghana for betenase. Anya economic dialogue no. Ni hu ba bi e de o man ye shebre ni yitin na be fa no. We have good governance in place. It will help us turn this country around. I remember you now. It will ensure a greater shared prosperity for all. For all, okay.
So, William Charles Brookman, Aka from Tema, says this year's election was successful. God should help us all with this new governance. Okay. And MPP did well, but some of the MPs did not help the party, especially Ameyao Sunyane MP. I cannot read all because I can only read what is here. Please permit me to ask, good evening to you, lawyer. Unfortunately, me send me messages. I am Yaya from Savannah region. The MPP lost because of their arrogance and mismanagement. Baumia and MPP have been disgraced to the whole world, he says. We thank God. This one says, I really thank Ghanaians, especially to the vibrant teeming youth who have shown that the power to decide ultimately lies with us and not with any politician. Next time, when we say fix the country, I cannot, that's all I can. Mahama, it is good to have you back. Kessben TV, you people are doing a great job. Congratulations to John Dramani Mahama for your victory. May the Almighty Allah protect you and rule Ghana peacefully. Rashid Sokori Zongo. Okay. So, good evening, Gabriel. From one of the major causes of the failure of the MPP is disappointment of NAPCO. He says, I'm watching you live from Birekum. Ghanaians were tired of the sound. Free SHS. We wanted something magical to eradicate the inflation burden. We are perishing. Okay, I wish I could read your name, but it's down there. The New Patriotic Party needs a total reformation from the national to regional and constituencies. There are too many arrogant people among the leadership. Their behavior and attitude resulted in the loss, I'm sure. Okay, so also MP Martin Asuyabu, a lawyer, 2012 at Obra Sports, then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo advised MPP supporters to remain silent. He did not ask then President John King. Well, our time is up. It's 10 o'clock. Better PV Jantoa Asipa ye enyumbre. Yede no atwetwe enkomo. Ye better Dr. Ajaku Odro. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us. He had a challenge along the way. We thank him so much. Also, so our share enyumbre ti enyumbre yeda asisone atrabesi sabre. The producers of the show, thank you so much. Bidding the Ohene Gyan lawyer, thank you. And I say thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.